Hello, my name is Allie Somerville and I research tourism around Lake Pepin. So Lake Pepin is on the Mississippi River and it's the border between Wisconsin and Minnesota. And if you can see in this bottom right hand corner, there's a map. And there are 4 counties that kind of encompass Lake Pepin, and those are on the Wisconsin side. There's Pepin and Pierce County, and Pepin includes Hager City, Bay City, Maiden Rock, and then Pepin County includes Stockholm, Pepin, and then Nelson as well. And then for the Minnesota side, there's Goodhue and Wabasha counties. Goodhue contains Red Wing, Lakota, like the edge to the edge of Frontenac, and then Wabasha is Lake City, Reed's Landing, Wabasha, So both of them have some pretty intense tourism activities, or especially on the Wisconsin side, places like Stockholm is quite reliant on tourism. And if you look at the tourism revenue for Wisconsin, Pepin and Pierce, while both have seen pretty good upticks in tourism revenue from 2012 to 2017, Pepin has increased quite a lot, which is very good because, as you can see, the numbers here are quite low, even compared to Pierce County. And then for Wisconsin, they are also seeing an increase. So Goodhue County has quite a lot more, which is partially due to Red Wing, because Red Wing is not very far away from Treasure Island Resort and Casino, if you've heard of it, and the reservation that's over there. All right. And then, so for my report, I just looked at all the different tourism options that there are to do in this area. So first, we can talk about enoturism, and there is a wine tour around Lake Pepin, and so on the Wisconsin side, all of these wineries, well, there's only 2, really, there's more, but these are the ones I wanted to focus on. They are centered around the Great River Road, which was built with tourists in mind, and it pretty much goes along like the most beautiful stretch of the river. Yes, and Villa Biezza is the most popular, and it is also across the road from a farmer's market, which is really nice too. All right. And then when talking about food tourism, there are a lot of tourist-pointed food places, and I just really wanted to point out these 2 right here. So Hanish, which is in Red Wing, you may have heard of it, was voted the best bakery in Minnesota by WCCO, and actually what they're doing right there is he's called the Bun Man by locals, but he's making a bunch of graduation cakes for people who are, it's in quarantine, no one's having real graduation. And then this is Stockholm Pie and General Store. They have gotten a lot of awards for their pies and was labeled one of the 18 legendary pie shops in America by USA Today. And actually that was where I worked in high school, so I have all their pie recipes. And then camping, fishing, and nature tourism is the most popular and biggest draw because, if you can see in the background, it's quite a beautiful area. As I mentioned here, Frontenac State Park is the largest state park in the area, which is actually where I took this background photo. It's at the top of Frontenac State Park. Barnes Bluff and Red Wing is also very popular. I also took this photo. This is my dog. He's lovely and I love him. And then other people or other places use their, natural beauty to host events. So this is the Stockholm Art Fair, which usually goes on every year. It's quite lovely. And then the last one is historical tourism. So there are more activities on the Wisconsin side. The Great River Road, as I had mentioned earlier, has historical markers and waypoints all along the river, and you can stop and learn a little bit about the history of the area. So this image in the middle is about the bow and arrow, which is like a rock formation up on a hill you can't see, but it's behind here, and it's not exactly accurate what is spoken on here. The historical markers are not always 100% accurate, but the largest historical tourism place in this area would be in Pepin, which is the home of Laura Ingalls Wilder, so they have a museum there with a bunch of her stuff in it, and all the family stuff. And then this is actually revitalized cabin from her. This is what is it called? Big House in the Little Cabin in the Big Woods. Little Cabin in the Big Woods. Yeah, that's the cabin. And then on the other side, so these are both in Wisconsin. This is in Lake City, which is in Wabasha County, but this is the Pearl of the Lake, and it goes up and down and does boat tours of the lake, and then they also talk about different historical landmarks, like Maiden Rock has interesting history, and they talk about that as well. Okay, that was all I had, so thanks for watching, listening, I don't know, goodbye.